Nadine Says, by Bobby Grace. Well, the full moon came to my patch of jungle recently, and with it the voice of my dear, boot-knife-toting Nadine. Nadine and I used to write music and tour together back when we were working musicians. She's tall, talented, beautiful, and smart, and can play the hell out of a bass guitar. Although we don't see each other very much anymore, we've remained close and intimate friends. Nadine is of the mind that I do not, nor will I ever, understand women. The longer life goes on, the more I think she might be right. I told her about the Mexican and how I'd screwed up and accidentally fell in love. I should have known better, but there are some girls who can make a man act pretty stupid. The Mexican is one of them. It was my turn. Really, Bobby, you're still that big of a fucking idiot? It may not be obvious to the casual observer, but Nadine loves me. Yeah, I said. I guess I am. The Mexican, contrary to her moniker, is a blonde cracker girl from Florida. Everybody who lands on the frontier has a colorful past. The Mexican was no exception. We joked a lot about being from different ends of the same trailer park. She was smart and made me laugh like an idiot. The Mexican and I had been hanging together since the fall of last year. I took a yacht delivery gig recently. A couple of days after I put to sea, she was back with her former man. A thing like that makes a guy process a lot of emotions all at once. Bobby, what made you think things were going to be any different there? Nadine asked. A sigh. At least this one wasn't young enough to be your granddaughter. Nadine thinks it's a bit unseemly that my last few girlfriends had been barely old enough to vote, and she seldom misses an opportunity to bring it up. I told Nadine a little bit about the Mexican. Nadine likes to have the details before she points out to me how I screwed up. She was smart, I said, and playful. A lot of time skipping rope and playing hopscotch, I imagine, Nadine said wryly. Nadine and I spent a lot of time in front of microphones together in our prior lives. We've never lost the natural banter. She'll jump on a straight line like a stripper on a trampoline. The Mexican was funny like that too. She's the kind of woman who makes a guy forget the hardship and tribulation of a frontier life, I wrapped up. Really, Bobby? She said. Too Victorian? I asked. Jesus, you're an idiot. I smiled. She couldn't see it, but she felt it. Sounds like you're going to be all right, Nadine said. Yeah, love is a gift, not an investment, I said. Damn lover boy, she must have hurt a lot. You still going to be saying shit like that for a while, or are you just about over it? She asked. Me and Nadine spend our time in the no-slack zone. Always have. It makes her special. I have never doubted her love for me. She's got her ways, though. I'm talking to you about it, I said. That's usually only a step or two away from being over it. Were you being an asshole? Sometimes talking to Nadine is like the interview room down at the precinct. Didn't think so, I said. Not intentionally, anyhow. You know you can be, she said. Nadine keeps her voice perfectly modulated when she is pointing out my shortcomings to me. I pictured her beautiful Asian features forming that sincere expression she wears when she says things like that to me. So you've told me on occasion, I admitted. A blonde, Nadine said. A fucking blonde? What the hell is happening to you in that jungle, Bobby? Nadine knows I've never been attracted to blondes. I don't know, pheromones, I said. I waited. Like Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. I thought maybe, I finally said. Nadine and I spent a lot of time on the road together. The all-night conversations often touched on romantic comedies. We laughed a lot then. We laugh a lot now. Meg Ryan is probably the only blonde girl whose name you know beside the Mexicans. That is if you even know her name, Nadine said. Carmen Diaz, I retaliated. That's 3. Carmen Diaz? Really? You think Carmen Diaz is a blonde? A snort from her end of the phone. Men are such idiots. You planning on doing anything stupid? Nadine asked. Like what? Anything particular you'd recommend? I asked. A sigh. Sorry she hurt you, Bobby. Thanks, babe, but I'm a big boy, I said, enjoying her sympathy but trying not to show it too much. And still a fucking idiot, she said. I couldn't argue. I waited. Probably doesn't make it hurt less, though, she said. Nadine can be very compassionate when she wants to be. No, not right now, I said. You sound like you've been on a bender, she said. A bit, I said. You know how it goes. Yeah, I know how it goes, she said. Did it help any? About what you'd expect, I said. Yeah, well, fuck her, Bobby, Nadine said. Been doing any music? A guy enjoys Nadine's compassion when it comes around. You've got to keep an eye out for it, though. She's of the, it's okay to have a pussy, but it ain't okay to be one school. So it doesn't always last long. Slacking off, I said. It seems to attract the wrong kind of women. The Mexican was some other guitar player's woman before me. That's the dude she went back to when I left. I've got no beef with him, and if the Mexican wasn't in the middle of it, we'd probably have become good buddies. Sorry, I said. I'm still wallowing in it. Having a tough time crawling up out of this one. Probably going to make a good story, Nadine said. A couple of songs too, I hope, I said. I knew she was smiling. It made me smile. Well, try not to sound like some stupid high school kid crying over his first broken heart, she said. Ha! One song, one time, I said, and I was reaching way down to grasp the youthful purity of the emotion, I said. Nadine and I wrote a lot of music together. Some of those songs I've tried hard to forget, especially that one. Yeah, well, you reached so far down you dragged your whole head into your ass for a while, Nadine said. She was just pointing out a fact, so I stayed quiet. Are you broke again? She asked after a bit. Upside down, I said. She was pretty expensive. You're a fucking idiot, Bobby, Nadine said. She clearly wanted to hammer this point home. Yeah, probably, I said, hoping an admission might move us along to other conversational pastures. Did you learn anything from this, Bobby? Nadine smiled through the phone. I knew that she was really asking, was I going to be okay? Stick with the little brown girls? I smiled back through the phone to let her know I was. You're an idiot, Bobby, she said. I couldn't argue, so I said, I love you back. The moon was low behind the satellite towers connecting her to my little patch of jungle, and we began our goodbyes. As our conversation wound down, I thought about my friend, Nadine, our time together. It was a hell of a run. I smiled. If the passion is great, the hurt will be great. In the end, all a guy can do is either carry the hurt around with him or let it go. It seems to me that the gods like to test us in this way, to give us opportunities to show ourselves worthy of their love and tolerance by demonstrating our own. A chance to deserve forgiveness by forgiving others and forgiving our own folly. Sometimes you expect too much, Bobby, Nadine said, breaking my reverie. Probably true, I said. You've mentioned it before. Yeah. Well, you don't seem to be listening. Nadine came back in that way. She uses when she wants to point out that if I'd only listened to her, I'd be able to get my shit together. Nadine was a well-met woman. The Mexican was too. Walt Disney doesn't write the script for places like this. The people don't come from central casting. There are no hired extras. We are simply the people we are, trying to get by out here on the edge. Me, the Mexican, her ex, all of us. Pain and disappointment are a natural part of life. It is the currency we exchange for its beauty and adventure. We hung up. Nadine was gone. It was quiet, but for the jungle night sounds, a little breeze. I thought a while about the Mexican. Smiled again. Out here on the Rio, you don't lose your lover, you just lose your turn.